In this mini series, we're going to show the behind the scenes of building dojos. You may not know this about the two of us, but between the two of us, we have built three dojos. So Jeremiah's original dojo up in Ocala, and then his second dojo that we moved to in 2016, and then also our current dojo. So first, we're going to give you an overview of what it looks like, and then we're going to break down all of the stuff that went into making this dojo what it is.
Absolutely.
So we'll start from the outside and work our way in. So this is our front porch, which to us matters. We like to have a place for people to hang out. Bench, usually there's a little bistro table over here that people like to make fun of me for because it looks like a restaurant, but I don't care. We're on break right now, so it's a little bit messy here in the lobby. Here's our table and our kids' mess. But we have a set of lockers here that we got from an auction at UF, and yoga mats for when our yoga classes are going on, PR board for my personal training clients, and we've got a nice little lobby section here. This bench and that pew and an additional bench that's in the bathroom, those were here when we got here, and then this pew is actually from Jeremiah's dojo. So this is where our parents sit or our clients sit while they're waiting. We've got an extra set of cubbies that we got from our renovations, and whenever clients first come in, we actually have a tablet here where people sign in. So I created a Google form where we actually take attendance, so no handwritten attendance. That's like a pain in the butt. And TV up here, just so you know, fun fact, if you connect your Roku to your TV, you can run advertisements through the albums section, so it can roll advertisements for you. And then this is our dojo floor. So the entire building is between 1,200 and 1,300 square feet. And this dojo floor is a little over 700 square feet. So we've got mirrors on one wall, fun window, computer here, and a Zoom setup. So whenever we are Zooming our teens and adults classes, we're able to use that computer. So it just looks straight out onto the dojo floor. And we have a funny story about this window. When we were renovating, we were told that, this is a really thick plexiglass window. We were told that, there's Jeremiah walking around outside. So we were told that this window has been here ever since this place was originally a liquor store. So this was the original building, and people used to drive through, because it was a drive-through liquor store, because that used to be a thing. And someone tried to break into the liquor store one time, and they used a cinder block and slammed it into the window. And it didn't break the window because it's plexiglass, and instead it bounced off and hit them in the face. So funny story about that. So this is our main dojo space, and then out the back door we've got some storage. So a little patio here, fenced off area, little shed in the back, a couple of cabinets. And usually the makiwara is here and the bag hangs there, but we took them down for a test recently. There's the bag. And then going down the hallway, little memorabilia there. Going down the hallway, we've got the restroom, which is slightly large, but we only have one restroom, so everybody has to share whenever they're changing. And then down in here is our training room. So this is about 165 square feet, so it's not very big. And this is where I primarily train my clients. So we've got all of our weight stuff here, training rack, extra dumbbells, other stuff there. So trying to make the best of the storage. My dad and I built this set of shelves earlier this year, baby stuff there. And then you'll notice that Jeremiah's massage table is also set up because this room has to double as Jeremiah's massage room. So we're kind of working around each other's schedules, but that's the room. And this room was really completed only very recently because it took us a long time to get that one done.
All right, so the main floor had, six, rooms?
There were 6 rooms total. I think it was like 3 exam rooms or 2 exam rooms.
3 exam rooms. Then you had right in this area was operating, like table, wash area. There's a bathroom back here, another bathroom right here, a linen closet. Then you have 1, 2, and 3 like examination rooms. We took them all down. So let's start from the top down. All the electric has been redone, or has been rewired. The lights are new, they're LED lights. The drop ceiling is new.
The insulation is new.
The insulation is new. We painted the walls, we did the border, floor.
The floor?
I can't think of the name.
Those baseboards, yeah.
I said border, baseboards. baseboards and the floor. The floor is made out of recycled 2x4 from all the examination rooms. Then we put subfloor on that, then put a laminate kind of flooring on top.
You want
if
to
we were to redo it again, huh?
You want to tell them about the 2x4s?
Yeah, we reused them from all the walls from in here, and then we had to rip them down in half.
Yeah, but before that,
We had to pull all the nails out of them. It was a lot of work, but
it's like 6 hours in one day.
yeah, it was a lot of work to pull all the nails out and everything else, but in the long run, we had more time than money.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. When you're doing these kind of things, man, you gotta be smart about it. You don't wanna waste money because you're lazy. I mean, you
Well, yeah, and if you got money, it's great. But yeah, all we have is time.
and it comes down, well, just from our own experience, we didn't have the money to have someone do that, so we did it ourselves. We did have one of our friends, Mike Purcell, help us out, man. He's an amazing craftsman, and without him, we couldn't get half of this done, right? But yeah, that's this main room. I thought it turned out well. We had a bag there and a makiwara here. The bases was something my dad made, and then the bag's hanging straight off the rafters. It drops down through the pipe there. The chain drops down through the pipe so that we don't ruin the tiles as much. I thought it was a good room. Yeah, I thought it was good sized dojo. We were able to get enough work done and enough room to do multiple things.
So in case you're budgeting for this kind of thing, keep in mind that we did this in like the end of 2016, early 2017. And I actually had a year to save to do this. So this entire project cost us about 12 grand just to get in the building. So starting from the ceiling, we had to do the entire drop ceiling, and finding a contractor to do that was like extremely difficult. I don't even know if Thumbtack exists anymore. It's where you used to be able to hire contractors. That's how I found the contractor for the ceiling. The lights, we had to hire a company for that. They had to come in and delete all of the crazy electrical wiring. And Jeremiah didn't mention it, but the old drop ceiling was like in like different sections. So each room, like this room had its own drop ceiling, and this second exam room had its own drop ceiling. So whenever he pulled it down, it was like rat crap falling on his head.
Oh man, that's nasty.
It was pretty gross. So we had to replace everything. The ceiling insulation, getting that here was a trip because it like flew off the back of my mom's truck in the middle of the highway, and I had to like tire flip it out of the road. So like I swear every single step in this process was just like insanely difficult. But ceiling insulation was new, drop ceiling is new, electrical wiring was all deleted down to the right size. And then also we got rid of a giant tub that Jeremiah was talking about here that doubled as a surgical table. There was a sink and a toilet here for the bathroom. There was a sink here. There was a sink in this exam room, and there was a sink in that exam room in the corner. Plus, there was an additional sink and an additional tub in the back. So tons of plumbing was capped off. So make sure you have a good plumber to do something like that if you're going to hire a plumber. These mirrors, we did not do ourselves. We actually went, I don't think this website exists anymore, but mirrors.com used to be a thing where you could buy mirrors. And these guys actually drove down from Ohio, which is like way up north. They drove way down here like a month or two after the fact. And this was after we already opened, and they installed these mirrors for us. So we just paid a flat rate. They drove all the way down here, and they actually put mirrors in Jeremiah's dojo in Ocala at the time, and then also did this dojo on the same day. So I had to go meet them there and then meet them here, and they were able to glue this to the wall. So these are basically permanent until they get ripped off. So that was the mirrors. And then the floor, we had to have a contractor friend help us with the floor. And like Jeremiah was saying, we ripped all of the nails out of the 2x4s, which took like forever. We ripped all the 2x4s, we framed out the entire floor, and then we did, you don't realize like how much stuff goes into building a floor, because this was the most expensive part of the entire renovation, was this floor space. It was putting the water barrier, and then all of the 2x4s, and then all of the plywood, and then another barrier, which I didn't realize you had to do, and then all of the laminate, which a few months after we installed, or a year maybe, after we installed all the laminate, we had done it so tight so that it wouldn't slide, that we actually showed up after a break and there was like a giant bubble in the middle of the floor. All of the laminate had come up and made a bubble. So Jeremiah had to come in here one day and go through with a saw, a little jigsaw thing, and cut all of the ends of the laminate off a little bit shorter. So that's why we now have like slidey places on our floor. I don't know if you can see that, but we have all these little gaps and stuff on the floor from all of that. So that's the gist of it for the main floor, which is obviously the most important part of running a dojo. But if you have any extra spaces that you're working with, those are also things to consider. This was a huge, huge task, and we busted this out in 6 weeks. Did a few things in the back and then opened up shop. But I'm gonna go over into the back and show you what we went through there over the past few years. So here in the back, there was originally like a entryway here that we ripped out, and then I ended up having to redo part of the ceiling and ceiling texture. And then there was like extra like counters in here, like one in the middle and then one over there. And then there was a huge tub over in this corner, and it stayed there for a couple of years because the owner didn't want us to take it out. Plus there was a sink right here. So we got all of that removed eventually, and then painted the entire thing, fixed the ceiling, replaced the lights. These LEDs, by the way, are awesome. They're way better than fluorescents. I would highly recommend LEDs for everything. And then just building these cabinets. Like, it doesn't look like a lot in here, but doing all of this actually took a lot of time and quite a bit of money too. This is what I've used for storing all of my weights. So this is just leftover shelving that was in this space, and I cut it down to size, and I've stacked all of our weight stuff on it over the years. And then this is a framed out pegboard. So because I don't have space, this is actually installed sideways, and that's what I've hung all of my weight stuff off of. And then over here in the corner, I've used these garden rake holder things to hold my barbells, and they've done all right. Let's just say that I try to be the one to take weights on and off of all of this stuff. I don't exactly trust my clients to do it, but it has worked for the space that we have. Also, accent wall. This is paneling that I got from Home Depot. I really like the way that this looks. It made the room look a whole lot more professional. Plus, if you follow our other YouTube channel where I do all my exercise videos, you'll see this wall in a lot of those videos. So this faux brick has been super nice. So we've been super, super grateful for this space and for the ability to start our own dojo here, because I'm telling you what, we looked everywhere whenever we were first getting started, and there was like nowhere, yes, there was like nowhere for us to get started at doing our own club. We looked at multiple locations, and you can listen to our podcast episodes about that, but we looked all over the place. We tried to buy places, we tried to like do every other route, and this was a place that was off market. The owner was not using it as much, and they said, hey, you can knock the walls down and you can get in there and, you know, do whatever you want. And so that is what we did. We got in here and did whatever we wanted. We just want to make sure you guys realize whenever you build your own dojo, like, there's lots of hidden costs. So if you don't have a space that's like ready for you to hop in, just keep in mind, like, if you're not going into like a club, like a health club, and you're doing this yourself, it can get pretty expensive. So make sure you've got quite the budget. Like the rental stuff, the first, last deposit, whatever. Like, the baby's like freaking out. And then also, you know, all the other costs with like turning on your electricity and like building things out, it can get pretty expensive. The reason this is a series and not a single video is because we're moving.